Hey, Cooter! Joe! Check this out. There's anywhere but here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about anywhere but here.
What's anywhere but here? Anywhere but here in Mississippi?
No, man, anywhere but here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the Wars in the Stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere but here podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Anywhere But Here. This is episode number, well, we're not quite sure. I'm Tom.
And I'm Ant.
And we're back again. I
Yes.
don't know
We've
how
got a
far
banked
down the line.
episode, so it's weird.
Yeah. We don't know what to do with this one. So, yes, you can find us at abhpod.com where you can do your Christmas shopping because it's probably still coming up to Christmas at this point, I would hope.
Possibly. And if it's before the 16th of November, you could possibly buy yourself a t-shirt also.
Yes,
and
yeah.
if you did, thank you.
Yeah.
If it's after, thank you for buying a t-shirt and supporting us.
Yeah. Whenever
I'm glad
this
the
goes
campaign
out.
went well and we've surpassed our expectations.
Yes, and that everyone maybe received their t-shirt on time.
Yeah, there's probably banking episodes, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's a t-shirt deal going on at the moment that we're recording this. Please go to our website and buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
We only need to sell 10. We've sold a couple already.
Yeah.
Do
it.
And then you'll get it after all 10 have been pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the campaign. So when the campaign finishes, however many have sold will go out.
Yeah.
If it's as long as it's over 10.
We should have thought that through, shouldn't we?
Also on
well.
the website, there's the Amazon. Oh, you've done the Amazon.
Yeah,
one.
which you can do your
finish
Christmas
that
shopping.
for?
We get 5% of what you spend, basically.
Yeah, that was the thought. That's what I was
and-
listening for.
Yeah.
You can find us on facebook.com/ABHpod where you can communicate and share stories and find stories that we have shared.
You can. You
Or
can find
reshared.
us all the same stuff, probably, roughly, on Twitter at ABHpod.
Yeah,
Mm.
same stuff happens. We retweet, we reply, so get in contact with us.
Yeah.
Also, long form and anonymous, if you wish to remain that way, you can contact us, abhpod@gmail.com.
You can. And most of the time, including this week, you can watch us at youtube.com/ABHpodcast.
Yes. So that October 31st video was hilarious, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Loads of great feedback.
Yeah.
Maybe. Perhaps.
So go subscribe to us at all of those, like YouTube. Also
Yep.
subscribe to us on iTunes,
iTunes,
and
Stitcher. Podcast Land,
You can give us a vote.
Pocket Cast,
Yeah.
all these places. You can find us, vote us up,
Yeah.
listen
Also,
to us, subscribe to us, whatever you want.
this week I'm going to do something different.
Are
If you
you?
are a Reddit user, go to r/podcasts, and if you see any daily episode posts where we have said about our episodes on a Sunday, give it an upvote so
Please.
it gets to the top of the list.
Yeah, Reddit is a new thing for us, really.
Yeah, we don't
Kind
really
of.
utilise it as much as we should.
No.
But it is really good. So
we
yeah,
should start.
r/podcast as well. If you're a podcast listener or you're a podcaster, is a great resource to find new things and get information and ask questions. Just don't spam your episodes.
Yeah.
Like put it in a daily episode post where you're supposed to do that.
There are rules about these things.
Yeah, it's etiquette really, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
you'll
Internet
get flamed
etiquette.
if you don't follow.
I don't understand Reddit.
No,
I've never used it.
maybe I'll teach you one day.
Yes, yeah, I probably should learn how so that I can start posting things on there.
It's like the old style bulletin boards before forums when they were just
Okay.
bulletin boards and it's just threads and threads and threads.
Yeah, I remember those.
But there's upvotes and downvotes, so the better ones are at the top. So you don't have to go searching for the good posts now.
Fair enough. Cool. I am using the rubbish microphone today
Yeah.
because we have a guest. It's the first time in almost a year, I suppose.
Well, the last one was Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
nearly
was
a
it
year.
Christmas?
I don't know.
We're looking off camera because
Because Joe doesn't want to appear on camera. It's
it
Joe.
is Joe from the Tom and Joe show
Yay.
on the ABH Podcast Network.
formerly of this parish, but has moved on to pastures greener.
I have.
Some would say.
Sorry, I'm kind of slightly asleep because I normally fast forward through that shit at the beginning.
Lovely.
You and many others, I'm sure.
Yeah. 15
Sorry.
seconds. 15
So,
seconds. 15 seconds. Or is it 10 on the iPhone?
So,
It's
I
been
don't
too
know.
long.
You'll be very pleased that we have 2013's podcaster of the year
Yeah, yes. good
back
point.
on the show after
Don't keep
almost a
milking
year
that
off.
one. It's like the World Cup. Just
It's
let it go now.
It's our 1966.
Let it go.
And it wasn't even us.
Oh, no.
It was
well, yeah, but it was our show,
It was
so
our
we
show.
take credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
We brought the
you
voice
to the...
to the world.
So yes, as to get the best of Joe's dulcet tones, we've given her the good microphone,
Yeah,
So kind.
just as I do on the Tom and Joe show, because I am kind.
You are.
yeah.
Selfless, some would say. But the reason that we have Joe here today is because this is one that we've had in the making for
Quite a few weeks.
Yeah,
we
quite a few
kept
weeks.
running out of time, basically, and didn't
Yeah.
have time to record it. But it's
Yeah.
one we wanted to do for a while. We just
Yeah.
had the idea.
of
Thought it was good. But it's given us time to get a few...
a few answers in
Yeah.
from our listeners, you fine people out there. Yeah, listeners and peers.
Robbie.
Yeah. Largely Robbie Polanco. So the theme of this week's episode is jobs. Essentially, what it was going to be was dream jobs, but what we also wanted was what was your favourite job or what
Worst
was your
job.
worst job? Tell us some stories, and we've got some.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know where we start. Do we start with ourselves? Do we start with listeners? What do we want to do?
Well, I suppose we could start with us saying what, like, no, the definite, like the dream job thing, not definition.
Yeah.
The dream job thing changes as you get older, doesn't it?
I think
so.
that's
What
right,
you wanted
yeah.
to be when you were younger is
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
And when your dream job as a child is like on the Monday you said I want to do this, and then on the Tuesday I want to do, and it's a dream job for that day, but it's not something you always wanted to do.
True. Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream job like in your childhood? Specifically childhood.
Specifically childhood. I guess really what I wanted to be more than anything was a racing driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It kind of feeds into your personality as an adult as well.
yeah, to
So
a
it's an
point.
important
It's
thing to you.
one of the only sports that I watch still is motor racing. Don't know if I'd have been any good, and the only reason that I never got into it is because actually it's a rich man's sport.
Yeah.
And coming from a broken home, we didn't really have all that much money growing up.
Yeah, because a lot of, like especially Formula One drivers start out as go-kart racers,
Yeah,
don't
and
they?
you've got to pay for
As
those
children.
yourself. Keep up the upkeep of it until you find a sponsor.
If you want to do it seriously, I mean, you can go to the track and you can use their go-karts, but you're never going to get good.
get anywhere. No, exactly. Get good.
You're never going to get good. Yeah, I did actually have a similar dream, I think, when I was a little bit older. My dad, I used to watch Superbikes with him.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be cool, racing
Yeah.
bikes. It never became a passion of mine, though.
No.
But I did kind of
Bikes,
think
I
for
always
a
thought
fleeting moment that would be awesome.
It would be exhilarating.
Especially when
but
they went round sort of the corners where the knee would hit the
down.
ground and you get the
Yeah,
sparks.
Yeah. Bikes terrified me.
Yeah, but that's half
But
the
that's
fun.
part of it, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
I don't know whether it ever changed.
No?
No.
You still would love to do that?
I would actually. Really.
But would you love to do it as a career, or would you just love the experience of it?
It's more the
once?
experience now because I know
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be able to make a career out of it. That's it,
Reach for the stars, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Plus, unfortunately, you would probably. Oh no, you can be. You actually, Formula One, you can do to quite an age, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, Schumacher was racing up into his 40s.
But he's totally different league to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You normally don't make it past your 30s, but then you go down into other formulas or different types of racing, so you
Yeah.
would still be doing it. No.
Just not getting millions for
Yeah.
each race.
Yeah. Because you do it for the fun, I
Yeah.
suppose. Joe, what about you as a child?
Loads of unachievable things. Like wanted to be an athlete, sprint hurdler. I was told by my mum, my dad was told by my coach that every now and then one comes out of the woodwork, referring to me. And that very week I left and went to hockey instead. So my dad told me that after
the
because
fact.
obviously it has to come from the individual if it's something that you want. And my heart wasn't in that sport, so I switched to hockey, wanted to become a professional hockey player. Wanted to be a graphic designer, wanted to be an artist, all of the things that you have to be stupidly good at.
Yeah.
And I'm not stupidly good at any of them, really. So I think then Probably the age of 6 or 7. I think. Don't know where. I do know where it came from. I wanted to be a nun.
Yes, this is the one that you put on there.
Yes. Shall I come back to that then?
Is that a job?
Well, I
Could
thought
that be
it was.
considered a job?
I thought it was.
Well, I suppose, yeah. It's more of a, what do they call it? It's a service to God, or
I didn't see it as that.
you just wanted that?
I can come back to that.
Oh, okay.
I think what I'll do.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
come back to that point.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think at my very young stage, I did have a creative. I wanted to do something creative.
Yeah.
Like I had an electronic drum kick, so I wanted to be a drummer, and then I picked up the guitar, I wanted to be a guitarist, and then I saw actors, and I thought that'd be cool. And it is the thing is, as a child, a lot of people don't have one particular dream job. Like you said, racing driver. That was you. A lot of children just fleet. Like I said, from Monday was one thing, Tuesday's the next.
Yeah, true. I don't know whether I ever had anything else. Astronaut was another thing that I quite wanted to do, but knew, even at a very young age, I knew that was well out of my grasp.
Yeah. I don't think children at that age have really any sort of idea of what an astronaut really is.
No, that's true. It's just someone who goes up in a rocket.
And wears that big white puffy suit.
Yeah, sometimes
which
they get
isn't
to
puffy in the slightest.
go and play golf on the moon.
Forget years and years of training
that
you actually have to do. And
yeah.
All of them have got
you're
masters and doctorates and all sorts.
All you're interested in is going to see Mr. Spoon.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to go to Button Moon.
Yeah.
But see the Clangers.
And the Clangers, yeah. They're coming back.
Really?
They're remaking the Clangers.
Not with Oliver Postgate, though. Not with Oliver Postgate, though.
No.
Because that's largely impossible.
Being that. Yeah. He is no longer here.
No.
But yeah, no, sorry. That was just a thing. They are bringing it back, though, apparently. I bet it'll be CG.
I hope not.
Yeah. I think it might be. They've done everything.
For the people who don't know what the Clangers are, they had this. They didn't talk. They kind of made these noises.
They spoke through slide whistles.
It was amazing.
It was, yeah.
And they had a friend called the Soup Dragon. Not remotely trippy in the slightest.
Not at all. A giant metal dragon. Yeah.
But brilliant.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to be an astronaut.
Not because of the Clangers.
Because of the Clangers.
Oh,
I wanted
because of
to
the
meet
Clangers.
the Clangers.
And go to Button Moon. Meet the Clangers on Button Moon.
Yes.
Go for dinner.
All that stuff. Wallace and Gromit as well. They went and had cheese on the moon. Didn't
Yes, they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Wensleydale.
Yeah.
The crackers. They forgot the
crackers.
crackers.
Yeah,
He had to get out and get the crackers.
With his arms. Yeah, no, mine were creative endeavours.
Yeah.
More than anything. That still like follows into today as well, like in doing this.
Yeah,
because keep trying to get my YouTube channel off the ground. I love video editing.
Yeah.
Is something I really enjoy doing. So it's
passion
kind
of
of
yours.
it's kind of turned into a hobby because I never followed the passion into
Yeah.
anything.
See, that's the thing with a lot of dream jobs. I think unless you've got the passion and I don't know, like the time.
And the X factor, whatever that is.
Yeah, you need to. They always say it's about being in the right place at the right time, but what is that?
It's not.
Yeah.
I think that's complete. I don't want to swear because
Tosh.
Joey's here. For some reason, I'm curbing my swearing.
I've already sworn. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's complete bullshit, basically.
Right, okay. Do you think it's down to tenacity then?
I mean, you look at Miles, because he's one that has contacted us.
This is
and
true, yeah.
his passion was teaching, which he didn't go into straight from college or anything, did he?
No.
Was he gone into business finance? I think that's what he actually studied. I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if he says it there.
I'm not sure if
but
it says it there either.
I think he's gone into teaching part-time. He does that on top of his day job.
Oh, that's true.
That's
a
part-time job, and teaching is his passion, but it doesn't pay him what he needs to live. So he does, because he loves teaching so much. He does it as a side job.
Yeah, it's that's a
part-time
community
job.
college
Yeah.
as well, isn't it?
Because he just wants to teach.
Yeah,
And that wasn't being in the right place at the right time. He went for that because that's what he wanted.
yeah. I suppose you're right. Yeah, he actually says, I've always wanted to end up in a position that helps other people.
Yeah.
It's part of my DNA. I started teaching for a community college, which is a 2-year school in the US,
Yeah.
4 years ago, and I've loved every minute of it. Community colleges are teaching institutions by their nature, so there isn't a huge focus on research or pressure to conduct said research by professors. We are all here to teach.
Yeah.
I've met so many wonderful people in the past few years and have been able to see the positive impact of what I do, which isn't true for any other job I've ever had. There's nothing like having a former student email or call me a few years after they completed my course and tell me about their successes and to be thanked for doing something that you consider a privilege and truly love. And then he says, Joe, I'm guessing you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had a couple of nominations this year for Teacher of the Year, and it's not the award. It's the fact that students have acknowledged your presence, and that's the most important thing, really.
And
yeah, I agree with that.
I think the same as Miles. Teaching for you wasn't your initial thing, was it? It
No.
was something you studied for after the fact, once you realised.
I'll come on to that with my
With your
own story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that
Yeah.
goes into the being in the right place at the right time story again. You need to actually go for something that you really want to do. Because I think there's models that you say were discovered walking down the street. They didn't know that modelling was something they wanted to do. They just kind of fell into it. That kind of thing, is falling into...
Yeah.
But that
But
modelling
it's not
wasn't
even
their
something
dream
that
job.
you were even aiming for.
It wasn't their dream job.
Yeah.
They were in the right place at the right time, but it wasn't their dream job. Maybe it turned into something they loved doing that they didn't realise they loved doing.
Yeah.
And in that sense, yes, but it's not something they've worked for.
Yeah, you're right.
Only those ones that haven't, the ones that were discovered on the street. I'm talking about, not
the ones who specifically went
Yeah.
and tried to be a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, I suppose. But it's just you just hear it so often, don't you?
Yeah. Being
And I think that actually hampers people in finding a dream job because they're like, well, it's never going to happen because
I live in a little village. You're never going to get a Hollywood director looking here for people.
Precisely. Whereas
You've
actually,
got to go for that.
Probably what you should do is just kind of get on with it and
move to the city where that's more likely to happen, and go to the schools where you can train up to do that, and don't wait for it to come to you.
Or do all your stuff on YouTube and hope someone finds it that way.
Yeah. It's kind of the done thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, people are found on YouTube. It started with Justin Bieber, didn't it? He was the first real mega star.
He's the first one that kind of went out into the world on the whole.
Yeah.
There are a lot of YouTubers who make a living on YouTube, and people don't know who they are.
True.
And they make millions, but...
Yeah, it's a strange thing now, show business. It's weird, isn't it?
It's very different. It's a very different way of going about getting noticed.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
it's easier to get noticed now, really. Well, I suppose because there's the market's so flooded, you've got to stand out. Well, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's
so
it.
Is
like,
it harder?
It's still exactly the same, I think, really. If you're looking for anything that's creative or sought after, you need to do something to make yourself stand out, but...
Yeah.
And even with the proliferation of the internet where you can get things to people much easier, there are so many other people trying to do the same thing. It's maybe
virtually the same as not knowing where to go.
Yeah.
Now you know where to go.
Yeah, but there's so many other people doing it.
Yeah. Very true.
I don't know. It's strange, isn't it?
How odd.
That kind of harks to the women writers in the 19th century who had to give themselves male names in order to get
true.
Because
we were talking about it the other day,
we were talking about
we?
the Brontes.
Yeah.
And they had to change they gave themselves male pseudonyms so that their writing was taken more seriously.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. What was it?
Charlotte,
Sensibility or Pride and Prejudice?
What do you mean?
Which one was it that we were talking about the other night?
We were talking about the writers.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but they were.
Charlotte
What I'm
Bronte,
saying
Jane
is,
Eyre.
Yeah. Okay.
She wrote that under the pseudonym of Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Because CB was her initials. Anne Bronte wrote under the name of Acton Bell, and Emily under Ellis Bell.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's
just because women weren't.
Yeah, well,
seen as...
and George Eliot, who wrote Middlemarch.
Yeah, isn't George.
It's not. It's her real name's Mary Ann Evans.
No. There you go. You learn something new.
There you
go. Do.
Especially with the teacher in the room.
Yes.
And if I'd only known that at school.
That's it. We'd have changed our name to... Oh, wait. Hold on.
No, just if I'd known you could learn stuff with the teacher in the room at school.
Yeah.
I might not be pushing buttons. Which leads us on to the current job we're doing. Is it your dream job, Tom?
Well, I've currently I'm currently in the transition between jobs at the moment. Still with the same company, just in a completely different role. No, it's
neither
not.
of them. It's your dream job, really.
None of the jobs I've ever had have been my dream job. I might have enjoyed parts of some of them. I might have hated parts of some of them.
Yeah.
None of them are what I ever strive to be.
No.
I don't know if I'll ever find anything that I'm overly interested in anymore. I'm hugely jaded at the moment. I'm going through a bit of a patch at the moment, and it's really depressing.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Perhaps this is a bad idea.
No, but this is helping. It's fine. It's like
it's a cathartic.
Do you want a shades to lay out on them?
Yeah, I feel like I should be laying down, and you should take notes.
It happened to my dad though. If it's any consolation, my dad wanted to be an artist, and his dad wouldn't let him.
Yeah,
he had to go to the dockyard.
Oh, of course, you had to get a real job.
Had to go to the dockyard, and for about 40 years, my dad had jobs that he hated. Along the way, he became a qualified computer electrician.
Right.
Managed to design many lights for waterways along our main rivers.
Oh, okay.
And then it wasn't until he got to the age of 55 that he got his dream job.
Yeah.
Which was a technician in the University of Creative Arts.
Wow.
In Canterbury.
So in a sense, it is art because it's designing.
Yeah.
Like you say, designing the lighting systems was kind of.
Yeah, it's still
still creative.
Yeah.
Because you're having to design stuff. That's really cool.
It was forced to take early retirement, however, because not wanting to use this as the forum for it, but underhand reasons, they let him go.
Right.
Because they believed that his relationship with the students was he was trying to get them to think for themselves, and really and what they envisaged the job as the technician to be was somebody who would do it for them.
This is how you do it. You do it how we tell it. Yeah.
And where my dad was not prepared to do that.
No, that's
they let him go, which is kind of ridiculous, really.
Free thinking, dangerous.
Yeah,
dangerous.
I know. You've only got to teach the syllabus.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yes. Well, it's different now. It's very different now. It's all about bloody independent thinking. Something I love because it means I can put my feet up. It's great.
Yeah. How do I do this? You tell me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Figure it out.
You have to throw it back. Yeah. Well, a kid asks a basic question. Does this read okay? Well, what do you think of it? So you literally throw a question with a question, and it gets them to think about it.
Yeah, that's something I missed. I think in my time at school, I don't have much free thinking. I'm not very good at it. Case in point, I can't speak. Like I was never taught how to think for myself, like critical thinking, things like that. I was never taught that in school, so I'm not great at it. When I read an article, I read it for what it is. I can't read into it.
Right.
I never took any lessons that allowed me to do that. And it's something I was speaking to Miles about when we were playing the PS4 together a little while ago. I was never taught it, and he makes his students learn that.
Yeah, I think that is one of the advantages of the way it's done now, isn't it?
Yes.
You're kind of building people who can think outside the box.
Yeah.
With a subject like mine, there are no right or wrong answers.
Yeah.
There are just insightful ones. And so you have to kind of nurture that individuality.
Yeah, it's the same when I'm teaching Chloe when we're sitting there doing homework and she wants me to tell her the answer. I'm not going to tell you the answer.
No.
You got to work it out.
You work it out. If you get it wrong, then I might help you figure it out and teach you how to figure it out. But I'm not going to give you the answer straight away. Especially with some of her literacy work the other day. What shall I write? So I asked her the question, what is it? I think it was, what is a fossil?
Right, okay.
Rather than how a fossil's formed. What is a fossil? And she was like, what shall I write? I was like, will you tell me what's a fossil? And then she told me. I was like, write it down.
Yeah, that's it. That's very familiar.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what the answer is. Just do it. Think for yourself. It seems harsh, so just do it. I'm not going to help you. But in not helping you, I am helping you.
Yeah. Because the thing with sticking to structured answers and sticking straight to a syllabus is that you don't actually learn anything. You just learn how to do the answer, don't you? And that doesn't develop someone's mind.
It's like you see parents that go like, my 1.5, 2-year-old child knows the alphabet, So they know how to repeat the alphabet. Do they know the alphabet? Do they know what it is? Do they know what they are saying?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a habit to get into. So when they learn about letters and things, they know what they were saying. They already know that pattern, but it's like they don't really know it. They don't understand what they're doing.
It's like
It's
times
difficult.
tables as well. I was never really my primary school never really drilled in times tables or maths in general, which is why I'm awful at maths now.
Yeah.
I've become better at it through jobs that I've had where I've had to
Practicing.
deal with money.
Yeah. I've been
And stuff like that, do you know?
Yeah.
And then in your adult life, when you've got to kind of balance your finances and all that, you know, you become better at it. But had I been taught proper maths
from the start.
from a young age, I might have been better at that, and maybe I'd have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
in my life. Do you never know?
Have you seen that thing? Is making the social networking pages at the moment. The Chinese way of doing.
Yeah,
long
I
division.
posted it on my wall.
Long multiplication.
Yeah, that. If
That
I'd
is
have been
absolutely
taught
brilliant.
that at school,
It's amazing.
it's brilliant.
I'm going to have a go later.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out, see if it is.
Just to draw the lines. You know, those the horizontal lines and then the vertical lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Might have to
That
have
is a
go.
great way of doing it.
Yeah, I posted it on my wall a little while
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
It astounded me because
I think I saw
it makes it
years
so
ago.
much
I
more
think-
simple.
I think it does the rounds. Like I saw it years ago, but I didn't really understand it, and then it popped back up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Like,
Shall we hear from some of your people then?
Yeah,
that's a
I
good
think
point. I was
so.
thinking we got onto the subject of teaching
Well,
rather than
I mean,
jobs.
what about yours now? What?
My job now? I'm in one of those positions where I'm in a place that I find interesting. I'm in manufacturing, and I do love electronics and robotics. And in a sense, they can be creative because you're solving problems, and you've got to do it in a certain way. Unfortunately, I'm just pressing buttons at the minute. I'm not working with the machines. I'm not designing machines or fixing machines, which is what I would love to do.
Yeah.
And an apprentice engineer job has come up at my place, but it doesn't pay enough. So I can't go for it. So if I'm wanting to move on, I have to study in my spare time.
Yeah.
Which I don't have because I've got a family. But but again, this is the way it's been drilled into us. I don't have time. It's like if you really want to do it, you've got time.
Yeah,
you
that's
have to find
a
the
lot
time
of what's going on with me at the moment. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
I should make time.
to do stuff.
Yeah,
To take
'cause
an
I
hour
do
out
have
or
free
half an
time.
hour a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am in a place that I find interesting, and I don't mind being there. But the particular job I'm doing at the moment, I don't find very interesting. And several times, like, a manager has come past. So what's going on? And I've said, "Oh, this, and this." And I said, "Why are you standing here doing this job? Why are you not somewhere else? You need to be doing something else in this factory," which is great, and it does boost your confidence.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
makes me want to
definitely.
do it.
Yeah.
But then you get put down by somebody at work because something went wrong and it's your fault.
Right.
So I'm caught in that place where I'm the bottom rung of the ladder, and there is opportunity to go elsewhere. I just need to take the chance and do it. So, but yeah, something now I want to do with computers or electronics, specifically robotics.
Yeah.
But I need to learn now.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to learn.
It's now time to apply yourself.
And I need to find the right path to take because I don't want to go into engineering and end up in sort of the wrong place.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
the
very
place that's going
specific
to take you
subjects in
away
engineering.
from. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I want to be in robotics rather than architecture.
Yeah.
or
See, that's the thing. I've taken another sideways step
materials
at the
management.
moment, and now there are more paths available to me than there were before.
Yeah.
But I've got to think about which path I want to take.
Yeah, because the thing is...
Because you can go and get cloistered in that kind of dead end.
Yeah, and even though none of them are a particular job you wanted to do, one of them is going to be more
interesting
relevant.
and relevant to what I would find interesting and keep me engaged
Yeah.
than others. Yeah. It's a tough time at the moment. It's
Yeah.
interesting. But
We're in the stage we should have been when we were like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just how education was back then. You were never really told to think about... Well, I think it's more your mindset as a child as well.
Possibly, yeah. And
So I think schools do try to get you to think about what you want to do, but you don't take it seriously.
No, and that's a problem, I think. I mean, I don't know what it's like at your school now with what is it? Jobs advice and career advice. Because we used to sit down with one guy every few months, maybe, and he'd be like, "What do you want to do?" And you'd be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Well,
have you thought about this?
Here's a list of some things, and it's
here's
like,
a list of jobs. Pick one.
Yeah. Basically, that was what
Close
it
your
was.
eyes and point at one.
No, it's changed a hell of a lot. It falls under the banner of PSHE, personal social health education. Sort of crap, really. And the drive really is UCAS references, applications to universities. There's no career advice
really
at all.
So there's no...
The only career advice students get is how to write a personal statement to post off to UCAS.
So right now it's like, this is how you get into uni. The child goes, well, how do I know what I want to do at uni?
Yeah.
You're like, that's not my job.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
just telling you how to get in.
Doesn't matter. It's almost a brainwashing case, because the whole stipulation is that every kid is now going to go off and go to university. It's bonkers, essentially.
When actually only a few years ago they were saying that degrees are now not really worth as much as they were. I mean, case in point. You
have to be very careful which degree you pick.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
But then universities are actually making mockeries of some degrees, aren't there? Because there are some that involve gaming.
Yeah.
There are gaming degrees.
Actually playing games rather than designing them.
That's it.
Which is ludicrous because you can't live off playing games.
No, and games are great in your spare time for problem solving skills, but they are not a degree.
No, I mean there was I remember when I was looking around, there was a university doing David Beckham studies. I think it was Isle of Wight.
Really?
We're doing a course on David Beckham studies.
Brilliant.
And it's like, what's that going to get anyone, really?
Yeah.
my first experience of university was a bit shit, really, because it was because I wanted at that time to be a professional hockey player, and so I decided to do sports science. But because I also liked art, I did art as well. I did sports science and art as a combined degree,
which is an odd choice.
Which was a very odd choice because I was hoping that the art side of things would then branch out into art history because it promised so much. But then, halfway through the second year, some other students hated the course they were doing and switched to art. And I'd gone for this whole interview, taken a portfolio of my work down there to Canterbury, and subsequently pulled a muscle in my back, which meant I was out of action for anything, even lying in a bed for 10 days because I'd done my, and I felt really kind of pissed off by the fact that they'd looked at these 10 people who wanted to drop sociology and had said, oh, we're going to take art instead. Oh, okay, welcome. Fuck off.
Yeah, they just kind of fell into it. I had to take
a fucking portfolio down for this, and you've just gone, oh, I don't want to do sociology anymore. Oh, okay then. No problem. Up yours.
Bastards.
So I left. I kind of left under a bit of a cloud because it just wasn't, and they didn't offer art history, which was bullshit. And, it's just not really what I wanted to do. So then it became a point where I thought, this is going to have to be pursued as a hobby rather than something that I could become a
professional at.
Yeah, somebody who, a curator.
Yeah.
So, no, didn't happen. And then English degree. So, yeah.
And now teaching.
English.
Which actually you enjoy, don't you?
I like it. There are plenty of, I've had promotion prospects and, there's not really ever been an issue with sort of stonewalling or hitting a point of no return. And there are still plenty of other potential opportunities, one being training other teachers. I do a lot of outreach, so, going to work in primary schools and things. Yeah. So there are...
They vary it and they keep you interested, don't they? That seems to be...
Yeah, and I have no desire whatsoever to become a head teacher. Do not want that. One iota.
No, most head teachers I've ever known or heard of, because my mum used to work in a school, still does, are all slightly psychotic.
I'm doing my absolute everything to try and avoid that ladder.
That's where I am at the minute at work. Absolutely. Like I'm getting pushed into becoming a team leader, which I don't want to do because once you become a team leader, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, and that was
until
the point.
The next level up.
Yeah.
But you go from like being hundreds of people on the floor to like 10 team leaders to 3 shift managers to 1 factory manager, and it's like that.
That is it then.
Yeah.
It's the same as in the place I was or currently am for the next 2 weeks. there's no chance of progression in there
No.
at all. So I've had to make another sideways step
Yeah.
to open up more opportunity for myself. Time will tell.
Yeah.
You know, it may well be that I pick a path that takes me up to, I don't know, mortgage advising or something, in which case that can open the door to crazy benefits and bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know,
money's driving you at the minute.
Yeah. In all honesty.
More than the job itself.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like more money. I'm gonna be 30 in about 4 months' time.
Yes.
And I'm still at the bottom of the ladder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is the thing that's driving me at the moment.
It's quite disheartening, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. And like I say, I'm going through a bit of a patch at the moment and it's a bit shit. But like I say, it's only through talking about it that I feel like I'm getting anywhere. We had a big long conversation recently, didn't we, about it? And
having the right support as well.
That's it, yeah. And I think it's got to be something that I've got to really focus on as to whether, you know, this is it now or whether I just take myself off and do something completely different. But what that is, I don't know.
No.
And that's the point. And this is where we're going to get a little bit of
interaction
going, and maybe we'll see, you know, what other people have been through and what their dreams and aspirations are still.
Yeah. So we've already mentioned Miles, didn't we?
Yes. So we've done Miles's earlier on.
There's Steve Croxton that keeps talking to us.
I don't know who he is.
Strange.
Yeah.
So he says, believe it or not, a policeman or a boxer.
Yeah.
Can you amalgamate the two? Perhaps?
Well, I think. Well, I'm not
boxing
going to
policeman?
cast aspersions on the constabulary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
but apparently horrendously bad eyesight stopped him.
From both.
Yeah, which is a shame, isn't it? You can't really be a boxer with glasses, and you can't be a policeman just in case your glasses fall off. I mean, you can get contacts now.
True. Maybe he can't.
And then they can still get knocked
You
out.
say it like contact lenses are really new and recent.
Right, yeah, good point. You can get contacts now. But then
now, these newfangled things.
like
they're like extra
bottles,
lenses.
like bottles for the eyes.
But yeah, I suppose you could still get the contacts could still be forced out of your eye, couldn't they, if you get hit hard enough?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger me, laser treatment. How's that?
Oh, that's true. That's
Wow.
true. It's very true. That's a new thing as well, isn't it?
But yeah, always wanted to do boxing, but not much good if you can't see the hits coming.
Yeah.
So
Could be slightly dodgy, couldn't it?
You want to be able to dodge and weave.
yes. Steve from the Drunk Geek podcast,
Yes.
Steve Eaton, said that he wanted to do something with video and photography, and he kind of realised his dream, just no way near how he imagined it. He says, I wanted to film skateboarding, BMX and extreme sports, which, you know...
To be fair, I went through that phase as
Yeah.
well. Again, with the video editing and stuff like that, and I had a video camera.
Mm.
And I was friends with some skaters, but
Yeah,
I was never
exactly.
confident enough to ask if I could film them.
Mm.
Plus, to do skateboarding videos, you need to be
also
able to
have
skateboard.
skate. Yeah,
because you need to be able to follow along with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I went through as well. When the X Games got massive over here in skating.
Back at the late 90s, early 2000s.
Or was that just our age?
Maybe
And
it was
it's
just
still
our
big.
age, perhaps. I don't know. You still see skaters.
Yeah.
He said, so now I take pictures and shoot videos of soldiers, not unhappy at all with it. So, yeah, that's part of his... Because he works in the media
He's a journalist, isn't he? Photojournalist for the army. Have you seen that picture of him abseiling, I think he is?
Yeah, I think I have.
Down the side of it looks like a big ship or something, taking a picture of
Yeah.
someone. I want to know who took that picture.
Yeah, he said he also wanted to be a firefighter, a lawyer, a veterinarian, and now he wants to be a personal trainer / nutritionist / podcaster.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm 27 and I'm still working on what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, which
we're going through as well.
stick to podcasting, talk to enough people, maybe
Maybe
someone
you'll
to give
get
you
some
an
inspiration.
idea. Yeah, that's talking to Sean and Michael from Nerdchurch. They're network engineers, or one's a network engineer, one's a network administrator, and that's something I always wanted to do IT wise as well. Again, there's something else I want to do IT, and I've got books so I could study and do my certificate, but never actually sit down and do it. Instead, I pick up the PS4 controller.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Distractions. Robbie has the most interesting one.
Yeah, this was a little bit outside the box.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice, and
Yeah.
it just fits with Robbie's personality
I mean,
perfectly.
Robbie's so saccharinely sweet. He really is.
He is. He said, "I wanted to be a dad to a girl, not a boy. I know it sounds weird, but I wanted a girl, twin girls, but I have one now, and that's all I need. Oh, and I want a $3,000 camera."
Because he takes a lot of photos
He's
as well.
photography as well. Steve Eaton's I believe that's where Robbie and Steve met, is in the military. Isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah.
That's why they know each
Yeah.
other. So I'm not sure what department, which area they met in.
Oh,
Department of the Army.
Department.
Yeah. So yeah, he wanted to be a dad, and he is to
Yeah.
a girl as well.
So-
That's something I never knew I wanted, but once it come around, you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it? I like this. It's the job you take most pride in.
I can
parenting,
imagine, yeah.
I feel. No matter what I say about her.
Off camera.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, he wanted to be a girl. Dad to a girl. He wanted to be a girl.
He wanted to be a
He
girl.
wanted to be a dad, which he is. So he's achieved his dream job. Steve has achieved his original dream job in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure being a photojournalist for the army is a lot more adventurous than filming extreme sports.
Yeah.
And he's working his way up to be a personal trainer as well. He's like well into his fitness.
Into his CrossFit.
His CrossFit,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, actually, he must be doing CrossFit because he managed to fit in training into a bloody conversation.
This is true, yeah.
So he's working on that, and I think he just win his first CrossFit competition recently.
I don't
believe
know,
he did.
really.
Yeah, I saw it must have been on Facebook.
Okay.
He did. So
I've
congrats
missed
on that.
Yeah, congratulations if you
Step
have.
in the right direction.
One of my work colleagues, Sean Crittenden, he said to me that he would give us an email, and he did. He's 19 years old. To be 19 again. To be a teenager. My dream job has changed many times from 5 years old to now. I went through the football phase. I was shocking, so that one went out the window quick.
I never had that.
No, me neither. The armed forces stage, driving tanks and blowing shit up is a job, right?
Yeah.
I believe it is. In fact,
yeah.
I knew a tank driver once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he went to Afghanistan. He said it was terrifying. He stopped doing it after that.
I can imagine.
Then when I turned 17, I thought about being a fireman, not the stripper kind, but the kind who saves lives. If I could have any job, I'm talking plausible, because if we're talking real dream stuff, a pro rugby player or the guy who rubs oils on Michelle Keegan.
Do you know who she is?
No.
I do.
Okay. Right.
Could you care
That's a
to
fair comment. It's a fair comment. She's from Coronation Street.
Is she?
Yes.
I can't think who she is.
Yeah,
You're going to look
she's-
her up,
I
are
should
you?
have a look.
It's a fair comment.
Okay. But yeah, he does play rugby as his hobby, so
Yeah.
pro rugby player would
As
be the
again, there's
thing.
another person whose dream job has turned into their hobby.
Yeah. Then being a fireman would be really would be if what? Hold on, wait.
Go back.
Sorry, I've
Start the sentence
yeah.
again.
Whoa. If we're talking plausible, because if we're talking then being a fireman really would be it would give me so much satisfaction that I'm helping other people in not just a service way, but on a personal level. I haven't achieved it yet, as recruitment is very few and far between, and I'm realistic about it, as it could take years. But if I could one day be one, I would wake up every morning, weekend or weekday, happy. I'm currently working at the Royal Bank of Scotland in Chatham on the phones. I have great people around me who I can count as friends, even though I've known them for a short time. I feel at home and like they care. I enjoy my job as it is, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
It's great to be able to share it with you, he says. So fireman, probably the most
He's still
realistic
young enough
thing there.
that he can still
He
achieve
can still
that.
do that. I
So
mean,
I'd say don't give up on that at all.
yeah, totally.
If Brian Quinn can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you find Michelle Keegan?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Non-approving.
Just a bint.
Okay.
Just a bit.
Yes.
Yes.
So Sean wanting to become a fireman.
Another person
because
who wants
it would,
to help people.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's what we're getting from a lot of people.
Yeah, they want to help
Isn't it?
people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever really had that as a dream job. I did get interested in psychology for a while, but I was more interested in research, in developmental psychology,
Right.
rather than what do they call it? Therapy, basically.
Mm.
So rather than helping people, I just wanted to understand why people were the way they were.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that, yeah, I suppose in a way you're helping people to understand themselves, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the therapy side of psychology, isn't it? But I wanted to kind of...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, work in the lab. Like, what's kind of spurred me on for that, was when I found out that a child born deaf learns language at the same rate that like a hearing child learns language.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting for me. Like they say, there's a correlation. There is a thing that by this age they know this many words. So deaf children born deaf learn the same amount of words as a hearing child does at the right ages, and the speech and stuff, not speech, but their understanding of language develops at the same rate, which I found really interesting. I wanted to look more into that side of it.
I see.
So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Whereas I think everything I've ever been interested in has been just about myself.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, rather
I wanted to be a racing driver. I wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
But like I say, I went through
not
that
really
stage
famous. Fame doesn't come into it. It's the actual...
The driving itself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I could be a taxi driver, really, I suppose.
Yeah. And then you're helping people as well.
Yeah.
Get to where they want to go.
So what about your nun thing? Can we go back to the nun thing? I'd completely forgotten about this, because the only thing that we've got left now is probably worst job, I think. And we can share on this as well.
My nun thing?
Yes.
Right.
Explain.
Yes.
Was it the uniform?
No. No. In all honesty, it was the fact that I thought that you could spend the day playing the guitar and singing.
I was thinking, does it have something to do with Sound of Music? I was thinking, when you said it wasn't the outfit, I was like, it must be Sound of Music.
Not explicitly, no. I think somewhere sort of buried in the back of my mind, might have been a subconscious connection. That's where I'd seen it.
Yeah. You just got this image of a nun sitting down with a guitar.
Yeah, but I did used to walk around the house with a white apron tied around my head for many an hour with my ukulele.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
The music.
And my mum, must have been my mum. I don't even remember the conversation. Must have been my mum saying, "So, what do you want to do when you grow up?" "I want to be a nun." And that was it.
That was it. You were determined to be a nun.
Yes. Bizarre.
That's definitely one of the most interesting.
Just because you could play guitar.
I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing else about it.
Wasn't that you were in any way religious or felt a calling?
No.
No.
God, it's terrible, isn't it? But then that dream came true later on as a teacher, because we did songs from musicals as an end of year concert thing, and along with 3 other teachers, we did a song from The Sound of Music, How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria, and where 2 of my colleagues hired Mother Superior outfits at 30 quid a pop. I found in my trunk of dressing up clothes, which we still have, along with the ABBA wigs and your Robert Smith hair. Yeah. My Grim Reaper outfit, which I'd used for Halloween, and I went and bought from a fancy dress shop a French maid's outfit, and again the apron became the headscarf. Superb. So my outfit cost me a £5, and
they hired.
I have it still, which is great.
So you got to dress up as a nun and sing.
I got to dress up as a nun
you
and
achieved
sing.
your dream job.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, that was good.
If only for a fleeting moment.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see.
Brilliant.
Keep trying hard enough. One day it will come true.
Indeed.
So should we quickly say, what has been your favourite job you've ever had? Because we didn't really get to that, did we?
That's true. Yeah. Thinking back on it, one of the jobs that I got the most out of probably was weirdly working in Wix the builder's
really?
merchant. Yeah, because it kept me fit.
Yeah, no, that's
I was in the best shape of my life. It was amazing, and I was, eating crap.
especially was you cycling at the time as
No,
well?
I used to walk.
You were walking.
Yeah.
I was still.
Yeah, exactly. I still do that now.
Yeah.
But because I'm not lugging around pallets of paving slabs.
You've not got the strength.
I don't. Yeah, I have to really work at it now.
You've got
Whereas
the
it was
cardio,
part
not the
of
strength.
my job. Also, there was no sense of health and safety. There was no sense of actually having any responsibility.
Yeah.
I wasn't being paid badly.
In a job that you really should have had.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
In terms of, you take pay into it, in terms of pay and interest now, the job I've got now, and it's one that I don't mind staying at for a bit longer. I haven't really fallen into the sort of habit of the job as such. It's somewhere I'm quite happy to stay because it opens up to other jobs that I'm more interested in. In terms of the most fun I've had is probably the place where we worked together.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it was a lot of fun.
Again, the working in the warehouse there.
The job was horrible. It was dusty. You used to blow your nose at the end of the day and you were just black.
You used to come away with black arms. I used to have dirt right up to my elbows.
Yeah, it was unsafe. Some of the people were horrible, but you got to fuck about in the warehouse with your mates. There was no customers and it kept you fit, lugging like trampolines around.
Precisely. Patio furniture and things like that,
But then you got those little water flasks, the little flasks with the little soft football inside, stuck inside, and we used to pull them out and just throw them at each other across the warehouse.
Yeah.
Or if not that, then big balls of sellotape and used to play games with them.
Yeah.
That was the most fun I've ever had.
When it was just me and Mark in the warehouse, we used to just essentially chuck knives to each other.
Yeah.
To open stuff up with, and I'm not talking small knives.
No, you're talking like standing knives or kitchen knives.
Like kitchen knives, bread knives,
carving knives.
That was what we were opening stock with. There you go, chuck.
Sticks in the side of the box.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, also actually there's another one I had working in a warehouse. It was a seasonal, the Christmas warehouse. It was where the HSBC bank is now.
Oh right, yeah.
Opposite Burger King in Maidstone, regional. But I used to work in the warehouse and used to go up to the top floor.
Right.
And we had the phone number for the payphones that used to sit outside the shop. And we had the phone number and we used to go upstairs, pull out the mobile and just watch out the window, phone the phone box that was closest to you and just scare the people that were down and like you talk about what they're wearing or what they're carrying and just used to scare the life out of them.
Brilliant.
Horrid, but great fun. And there was down in the basement, there was a scary no light, like it was like the tunnels under Maidstone, which is something to investigate. And it was really weird because it was like you went into the back of this warehouse and there was another room behind it. You went in there and then there was a little corridor that went round and then back on or down and then carried on. And it was like a winding corridor and you don't know how far it went. But by the time from where I was, you were probably either under the next shop or across the road. Like you lose your orientation down there, but you were not underneath the shop anymore.
Right. Yeah, because there's a massive tunnel underneath Gabriel's Hill, isn't there?
Apparently. Yeah, there's supposed to be like a tunnel leading from the Cannon in the High Street up to like the old mental hospital, which that's a long way. And there's a river in the way.
The prison. There's also one that's supposed to come from Maidstone Prison all the way down to Chatham Docksides.
Yeah, underground tunnels, which may be true.
Yeah. Apparently so. People that I've spoken to in the past have been down there, so they claim.
Yeah.
But again, it's all claim, isn't it?
But my claim is I know there is a tunnel type thing there, but I don't know where it goes. I could have bullshitted about it. But there is something there.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Another thing about Wix was we used to make videos with certain things. We used to have stuff that came back, like chainsaws that used to work, but the rotor didn't go.
Oh, okay. So it made the noise.
So we used to make horrifying videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Genius.
It's quite good. Or muck about with forklifts, which was really dangerous. But
very.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Favourite?
I've only ever had 2 jobs.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
This is the shock.
Yeah.
I've had about 10.
Yeah, I've had quite a few.
Yeah, I've only ever had 2 jobs.
Yeah, and they're
both been teaching ones.
Yeah.
So, first one lasted 8 years. This one's lasted 5 so far.
Wow. Oh.
That's it.
So teaching is your favourite job?
Yeah.
So you've been lucky enough to have a job that you enjoy doing. One of them must be better than the other, though.
It's just no. I can't really answer that to the because it's just become a progressive. You have to kind of go with changes. It's an ever changing job, And so from when I first started to where I am now, there are no comparisons, at all, and no similarities.
Secondary education as well has changed quite recently anyway, hasn't it? Because you've got the extra year. Is it an extra year? They can do an extra year. There's like an MVQ option. Is it? I see. I don't know. I don't understand.
Or is that
You're the person to
places
ask.
where they've got like specific?
I was understood that you did some GCSEs, and then you could take an MVQ as well, and there's an extra year added on, or you have to not added on. You have to do a year of sixth form or go to college. Sure, there was a massive change recently.
Well,
and you're a teacher in secondary education, so I'll ask you.
Stipulation that students now have to stay to school till they're 18.
Oh, 2 years then.
Yeah.
To stay in education.
Yeah.
Rather than school.
Yeah.
So either do sixth form or go to college
or something.
And
but you have to.
Without getting political about it, there is money for every student who stays on to your sixth form. The school gets paid for every single student.
Yeah.
So you have to have them pass. They have to pass your subject if they choose to take it. So it's absolutely bollocks, really.
Yeah.
Money.
But it's been a never changing thing. You know, something I literally fell into by chance. I was called up one afternoon to go and do some cover work, and then heard nothing for about 6 weeks. And I got to the last week of the summer holiday, and the deputy head from the school phoned me and asked me if I wanted to come in for a chat, as I was, with blackberry stains all over my jeans because I've been blackberry picking.
Yeah.
And had an on-the-spot interview in the corridor. And then the head shook my hand and said, "Welcome aboard." Hadn't even passed my degree at that point.
You are now a teacher.
Yeah, hadn't
Wow.
even passed my degree. So, you know, literally they were that desperate for teachers.
Wow.
So, yeah.
There you are.
So, you know, there's that one.
So you were kind of in the right place at
I
the right
also,
time. Which
I
kind
have,
of...
This is
I
what
have
I'm
to say,
saying.
I have to say, I don't like writing application forms.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the
Either.
interview
Can't
and the
stand-
application process.
Yeah.
Don't
Toad.
like it. That's why I haven't had very many jobs, because I'm actually too lazy to apply.
Yeah. No, I hate that side of things, and trying to keep your CV up to date and
Yeah, it's a pain.
altering it for certain jobs,
Yeah.
having different versions of it for different types of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always
Absolute
remember
crap.
to include keywords
Mm.
from
Yes.
the
Absolute
application.
Cobblers, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Rubbish. John, our friend Johnny Cobbing, he worked in TJ Hughes as well, but recalls it as one of his least favourite jobs ever.
He hated that.
That's
place.
mainly because he was never there. I think he was still employed there about 2 months after he'd actually left, because he hadn't officially quit.
Yeah.
He would turn up once every month, maybe.
Yeah. And I remember like favourite things about him is when a customer asks him for stuff and he comes down to the warehouse, has a bit of a chat, goes up and goes, "No, sorry, can't find it." Doesn't even look.
I know.
It's
He
amazing.
hated that place with a passion. But then, you know, he would find human feces in the women's changing rooms occasionally, apparently.
Yeah.
It would happen every now and again.
Yes.
But yeah, he's he used to spend entire shifts in the shoe cupboard storeroom.
Yeah. Just chatting.
You just knew where to find him, basically. He'd never be out on the shop floor
Where you're supposed to
doing
be.
work. He would just, it was great.
Brilliant.
But that's the thing, like, you could get away with it there. It was weird.
There
That
was-
place, I said to him, I'm pretty sure we could do a whole episode on that place and the goings on
Yeah.
in that place.
A lot of the stuff had stopped happening by the time I got there.
Yeah, this is true. They cleaned
Like
up their image a bit.
Stopping the goods lift on purpose.
Yes.
People used to do that
Mhm.
for reasons.
Yes, they
That
did.
stopped by the time I was
Yeah,
there.
I stopped it before, but not for reasons.
No, I think you did it to scare me once.
Yeah, I
in
think
the-
I did, yeah.
And I was like, oh, apparently people used to just open the... I mean, yeah, look. And you just open the door and there's just a wall. It's like, oh. And it'll go again. You shut the door and you start moving.
Yeah. I used to do it to freak people out rather than
Yeah.
have it away with someone. Oh dear. What an incestuous place that was.
It was weird. It's not there anymore, so we're allowed to do that.
So we're allowed
It's
to
still
say
a company,
it.
though.
It's still a company, so I'm not going to say the name.
Yeah. No, you've said the name.
Oh, okay, TJ Hughes.
Yeah.
Yes.
TJ Hughes Maidstone specifically.
Yes,
at the
specifically
time,
Maidstone.
because that's
And,
not there anymore.
The nasty people that used to work there,
Hmm.
ex-convicts and all sorts.
Oh, steady.
Yeah.
No, they're not
Oh,
Australians.
no.
Not Australians. They were actually ex-convicts. He wasn't being.
I wasn't being racist.
Yeah. Is Australian a race? It's nationality.
Nationality.
Antipodean. Anyone who comes from Australia.
No,
Oh,
but he was a
dear.
genuine ex-convict. He was
Yeah.
put away for some horrible crime.
Yeah, that he's not going to mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, TJ Hughes was in equal measure. It was great and it was horrible.
And horrible, yeah. Yeah.
It was one of the jobs that I quite enjoyed being there, but I wouldn't have any problem phoning up saying, "Oh, I'm sick. I'm not coming in."
Yeah.
today."
Do you think
Precisely.
you might have had a part in its sort of liquidation?
By the time I left and they cleaned up their image, yeah, maybe it was something to do
Every
with me.
single member of staff had a hand in just its liquidation. I think.
Yeah, I think
Nobody
that's-
took it seriously. There used to be people who would just take TVs out the back door that they hadn't paid for.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
People were stealing stuff left and right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never took advantage of that.
And nor did I. I never stole anything from that job. I don't think I've ever stolen anything except maybe stationery supplies
Yeah.
from my current job. But even then, that's part of the thing.
Yeah.
Just take a pad of paper home with me, or pen or something.
For podcast notes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. Oh dear.
And on that note.
And on that
Oh
note,
dear.
so we've learned a few things from the audience. We've learned a few things about ourselves, but basically, I think the main thing that we've learned is keep plugging away.
Yeah, if something really is genuinely a dream job that you would love to do more than anything else, just work for it. Don't wait for it to come to
Find
you.
out what you need to do to get it and do that.
And I think I'm going to take my own advice.
Yeah, me too. We've learned some things
I'm
today.
going to go play some PS4. I want to be a gamer. I can go to uni for that.
Yeah,
apparently.
that's true. Yeah, we've been told. Now we can go and get a degree in gaming. Let's go.
Brilliant. Which uni was it?
So for this episode of Anywhere But Here, I have been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Oh, and that's Joe.
Bye.
Bye.